This film, Bengal Memory, takes us through Bengali, Pakistani, and Hindu history and the role the British played in the war between Bengalis and Pakistanis and the racism and difficulties they've faced since. Some of the stories that they told were just heartbreaking to hear, and I think this perspective of Bengali history doesn't get told enough. And this was really informative and important to hear. I think the way they brought us through the history was really digestible and easy to follow and understand. Sometimes the way history gets told, especially this history from this region, it gets a bit confusing, but I think they did a good job piecing together the events and how they related to each other and the way people are impacted by that history today.
Bengal Memory. What an amazing documentary. I didn't know a lot of these things. I didn't know the history of Bengal, the relationship with India and Pakistan, and the way the United States government was involved in all of this. I mean, we know that Nixon and Kissinger are, controversial figures, and to learn how they were involved in these events is frightening. But beyond that, I think that the documentary does a great recognition of the people who found their way to fight and to survive against the odds, some of which moved to the United States and created a new life there. It was a remarkable history, and I was very moved and interested in this piece. Now I want to learn more about this place, Bengali, and its history. Thank you very much for making such an interesting documentary.
Without credits, this film seems like it just abruptly cuts off. So I didn't know if that was really the end or if it was supposed to be extended or not. This documentary is well made, though. It goes through the history of Pakistan and how it's led up to the moment it is now, and where this particular man is now living in the United States. I think they said it was. Shows the history of Pakistan using archival footage, photographs, going from black and white to color to go explain through the present times. He's explaining his full history, the memory of it, the memory of tragic events, the memory of how it changed. It's imprinted on his soul. This documentary was very educational because it's about a region that I didn't know very much about. It's a different culture, and it kind of lets me in onto that to understand why what happened and why this man's story is so important, because it's not really a region we learn much about.
Bengal Memory. So visually, this documentary is a standout. The thoughtful use of color and detail infuses the narrative with a sense of weight and intimacy, while the cinematography captures both personal moments and broader historical scope. The archival footage is woven into the fabric of the film seamlessly, and the sound design subtly deepens the emotional layers without ever feeling overbearing or forced. What really sets it apart is its content, the really well done exploration of identity through the lens of family history and national trauma. The story doesn't just revisit the Bangladesh liberation war, it unpacks the emotional complexity of being tethered to two worlds, navigating the dissonance between past and present. It's a real emotional fallout that reverberates across generations, and I really liked it. I was so interested in knowing more and more about this.